or make you laugh, make you cry like Ain't Life Funny. Ugh.
What's happening, everybody? This is Money Man on WALF, the Aint Life Funny podcast. We here in episode 46, and I'm just doing this intro because Aaron said I wouldn't. So I just wanted to say F you to him, and let's get into it. Thanks for tuning in, y'all.
I don't want to block your shine,
I'll
dog.
be famous, son.
I mean, your other podcast is so much more watched and liked, and I feel like it's me holding you
Aaron.
back, dog.
Here's what's crazy, bro. No, it's
holding
not.
you back, bro.
It's not.
Bro, you're famous, dude. Are you kidding? The other day, I think somebody saw me, and they were like, in my mind, I saw this happening. Like, this isn't really happening, but they're gonna see us and be like, "Hey, aren't you that guy that's on the podcast with the other guy from It Happens in the '90s?" Like, and then they're gonna be like, yeah,
Dude, if that happens though, then we're winning, bro. We're all getting paid at that point.
I'm fine. I don't want to be famous, man. Like, you do it, man.
We can't get famous for this podcast, Aaron, because if they deep dive into it, we will not have a career.
I'm gonna get canceled instantly. Yeah, they're gonna be like,
if anything pops off either way, I gotta raise this. So, nah, Aaron, shut up, bitch. First of all, we have more listens than happened in the 90s, and the country list for our podcast is huge, dude. There's one person listening to us in like 16 different countries.
Yeah, but then you have to look at who those people are.
God. Hey, you want to know what my wife just handed me, our producer of this show?
What's that?
It's a fucking note that all it says on it is, "You two are the Dollar Tree version of Falcon and Winter Soldier." That's some bull.
Ah, damn, couldn't even get Captain America on your ass. Said Winter Soldier, your bitch ass. All right, first off,
so I'm gonna make a Photoshop of that. So that's gonna be the poster of our fucking episode.
Oh, you know what really sucks for Anthony Mackie, dog, is that like he got put on kind of being like number two. You know what I'm saying? Like when your height is to shoot for number two, that's a tough spot to be in, man. Because like people want to hate on, like basketball players and football players when they chase championships and shit. It's like, yeah, man, because like it's hard being the greatest and then you're still not the best person. You know what I'm saying? So like that's Anthony Mackie in a nutshell to me.
But you know what? You want to hear what?
Always the buddy. He's always the buddy. He's always the friend. Like he's never the guy. You know.
But
what I mean?
I think that's about the worms turning on that, because I'll say this: he's been in the movies that have already come out, all the Avengers movies.
Legendary.
He was in those, right?
Yeah.
As the second banana, as just like a background dude, but he was big. But now he's at the forefront of the streaming shit, and I guarantee you he's going to be in the next Avengers movie as one of the main Avengers. It has to be.
But dude, come on, man.
I agree with you, because that guy had to live through remember what he did in Pain and Gain, or whatever that movie was called with The Rock?
So many movies, dude.
Yeah,
it's not even just that.
They were like
the newest
estrogen one that we need in this movie.
Right.
You know?
Dude, have you seen, like, they literally had him drinking women's breast milk. Like,
Kitty
that's
milk.
what it was. Yeah, like, but have you seen his newest movie where he's with the guy from Snowfall, like that kid, and like he's like an android that's tricking a man into like doing all this like classified shit that he's not supposed to do in the military, and then like, cause like somehow like that kid gets into the military and like he's like some like his, I don't know, like he has like some type of kind of computer like access or something that lets him get all this free shit in the military, and the robot knows this. So like Anthony Mackie's the robot, and he just uses him to do all this shit, and then at the end like does some crazy shit where like it all, I can't even really explain the movie because it was like really kind of long-winded, but it wasn't a bad movie. It's called like Out of the Wire
fucking
or something.
Shit out, dude. I've never even heard. That sounds like something I would watch, but I haven't watched. Which
It's on
brings
Netflix.
me to another thing that I want to thank you for, which was bringing that show, The Righteous Gemstones, into my life, because that shit was one of the funniest things I've seen in a long ass time. And it was bizarrely like dramatic as well. You know, it was like Ozarks if there was more laughs in it, basically.
Right. Well, that's why I like watching comedies anyway, man, because like you get a little bit of everything no matter what, you know what I'm saying? Like there's episodes of Always Sunny where they literally have like shot film noir sequences and shit.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you can do anything, you know what I mean?
No, but that show was dope. I mean, I forgot how much I like Danny McBride, but I mean, he killed that. I mean, that dude is really fucking creative because I think he wrote that shit too.
I mean, that's what I think he got the credit for it. I mean, I'm sure it wasn't all just him, but I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, if you get the credit for it, fuck it. Hell yeah. Put that shit under your belt.
Yeah, that shit was dope. I mean, there's just too much shit though. Because it's like that has been out forever. You told me about that. I honestly forgot it existed. I'm becoming sort of like a guy who just watches YouTube clips a lot.
I mean, I kind of do the same thing, man. Inevitably, there's a point in every day where like I don't want to watch TV or anything. And it's like, man, I don't want to play video games. Like, I just kind of just want to look at a bunch of like quick little YouTube videos.
Fail video. I'll just like, if I get bored, I'm like painful fails and just watch people like crack on a skateboard or something, like something where it's watching funny.
Like, you know, I've been watching like sports clips and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? People getting their ankles broke, cross playing basketball, shit like that, you know what I'm saying? Or like cool plays. Like I like stuff like that, you know, boxing highlights.
I can't even watch fucking sports talk like ESPN now because the only thing I want to hear about is the Steelers, and everything about the Steelers is just one more heartbreaking piece of information after. It's like Ben Roethlisberger's back. God damn it. Juju Smith-Schuster's leaving. God damn it. Everyone's retiring. My team is going to be in shambles. Your team.
You let them tell it. Those are the right moves, though.
I mean, prove me wrong. I mean, I don't know. I feel like Juju Smith-Schuster will be the next Hines Ward of the team if we would allow him to be. But they had an ass coordinator. Now he's worth too much. They're not going to pay him because Ben Roethlisberger's there, which he shouldn't be. He should fucking retire. But
I feel like Hines Ward denied himself a payday. So I don't know if Juju Smith-Schuster's even in the mindset of trying to do that. And then keeping Ben, like, I mean, the thing about that is, like, any team, if you have a proven quarterback, dude, they're going to roll with that dude over anybody.
Oh, yeah.
Regardless of who he is. You know what I'm saying? Like, Kurt Warner played until he was 40-something, you know what I'm saying? Like, Drew Brees, like, all that. Like, if Drew Brees says he wants to play again, some team's going to pick him up and say,
but I feel like there's more of a reason for Drew Brees that, like, you can see the decline. And again, I love Ben Roethlisberger as the quarterback of the team for most of his career. He has like shitty things about him that I don't like, but do I want a nobody or the Mason Rudolph dude to play instead of him and not have like a good quarterback? Not really, but there's going to be a time where you have to do that. And I feel like they're usually good about letting a guy go when they need to let him go. And they don't seem to be able to do that with him. And it's costing him an ass ton of money. Even with him doing the deal, like he took off a bunch of money and like put it, but then we just have to pay a guy who's retired like $14 million one year because we wanted to have a quarterback. It's like, just fucking roll with, we just got that guy from Washington that's young. I mean, the guy might like titties and going out, but I mean, he's an athlete. I don't really give a fuck about that, you know?
I don't know, dude. He doesn't like he has a work mentality to want to put in the effort to be great. Cause like he was out there throwing some shit looking passes, and it's like, dude, you got.
I didn't really watch him play, but he was good in college.
I've seen Redskins games. He was an athlete. That's the thing. Like that's the difference when you're at the college level, dude. Like if you're just faster and bigger than everybody, like you can do shit like that. But when you get to the pro level, you have to know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like regardless of how athletic you are, and it's kind of crazy because I was just thinking about this because I was watching some thing about like college athletes and stuff on YouTube and stuff, and I was thinking that it was interesting that they kind of do this weird thing that's kind of like counterproductive to college athletics, where you would think to yourself, like, 'cause this dude on the show said it's like the 3 A's. He's like, either you aren't academically strong and that's why you go to community college, or you're athletically gifted but something like you're not athletically gifted, you know what I'm saying, so like you had to go to junior college, so obviously weren't good enough to be on the D1 level. Or the third one is you're an asshole, so it's like you had the athletic gifts and academics but then you fucked up and did some dumb shit, you know what I'm saying. So like the three ones are like you're either not smart enough, not athletic enough, or you did some dumb shit. And that's how you get to community level of college, like the JUCO league and shit, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So what I thought was interesting though is that it's fucked up that like on those JUCO leagues they give all these kids second chances that like did some dumb shit like smoke weed and shit. And, like, and I get it, like I don't want to curse any kid because you made a mistake, or because like dude, they're like 19 years old, you know what I'm saying. Like if I got caught for all the shit I did when I was 19, you know what I'm saying, like of course I want to give that kid a second chance, but like why wouldn't instead you do this? Give the gifts to like a scholarship to a kid that doesn't have the athletic ability, but is doing all the right things as a student. Because like ultimately you're a school, you know what I'm saying? Like your community college is what you really are. So you like if a student is failing in any way academically, like they literally will sit there and like coax a kid along that doesn't want to write a paper and like be like, oh, come on, man, and be like helping him write it sentence by sentence. And instead it needs to be like the kid should want to write that paper and then be like, I know I'm not the best player, but I just want to have fun and, have an experience in college. You know what I'm saying? That's really what I feel like the student athlete should be versus it being like, oh, damn, this dude is 6'8" and a monster, but he can't fucking read Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. But you know what I'm saying? Like, if we could just teach him how to read the plays, he'd be great. And like, that's really what they're all focused on. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't you think like that's kind of like reverse of what student athletics should be, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know if I'm making
it just shows, I think what you're saying shows you that especially collegiate football is a business. It's just as much of a business as the NFL, because just like the NFL, there's guys that are so fucking good at playing football that they'll say, oh, you got caught smoking weed, or maybe you hit somebody, you got in a fight and like hurt somebody or some shit like that. They'll ignore that if you're good enough, and they'll let you go to like a Miami or one of the a big ass school that needs good football players, because if you're good and you get eyes on that team, I mean, the money
that's why I brought it up.
Colleges make, it's crazy.
That's why I brought it up with what you were saying, because like the same thing with the Steelers, dude. Like ultimately at the end of the day, like that's why like I started looking at it with the Cowboys, man, because they just signed Dak and shit, and I was like, man, ultimately, dude, like the Cowboys got to realize it's a bigger risk to not sign him. You know what I'm saying? Like as much shit as they want to talk about, like, oh, he ain't worth this or that or whatever. And it's like, look at all these other quarterbacks where they didn't earn the quarter, like Carson Wentz and shit. It's like, you can say all that, but they signed Carson Wentz because you would rather go into the season with a Carson Wentz than to be going into this season without.
Yeah, because you know what you got.
Know what I'm saying?
Especially with Dak, because I feel like he's right. If this is like Tom Brady up here, he could, and you could see him being that too.
He's low level Russell Wilson. Like I don't think Tom Brady. I think it's Russell Wilson is here, and then he's like, a few markers down where it's like he can do everything a Russell Wilson can with like he's a little bit taller, so he has some things that are better and then some things that are worse. Like he's not as a good.
Plus, he has a good attitude. At least it seems like he does. And the one thing that I've seen him do is he doesn't ever get like Ben, even if he does, like Ben Roethlisberger, if he does shitty in a game, he'll just go mope and sit down and shit and like look sad. Dak Prescott like walks up and down the benches and like gets people fired up and shit. He's got like one of those type of mentalities. So I would sign him, but
the problem with football versus basketball, though, like or any sport to me, like other sports, is that it's so hard to affect football at any one position, man. Because like that's what I think is funny about you hear fans be like, we need to get rid of this guy and that guy. And it's like to a degree, like that's a problem. But also like as a team, there has to just be a mindset of like everybody's gonna fill in the blanks. You know what I'm saying?
Which is the ultimate Steelers mentality. My thing with Juju is just like that's a personality thing. I just like that guy's vibe. I think he's like a cool football player, and he's not.
See, they don't like him because he's dancing on the logos now.
I mean, that's kind of, but that's like sort of a non-said, like one of those unspoken rule things where he's like, it's not necessarily people dance on a field, but it's just like I guess they're taking particular offense the fact he's doing.
He was doing TikToks, bro.
Hey, like, man, let him do it. Like, here's the thing: he's smart if you think about it, though, because that's a business. So he's setting up a business alongside his career in football while he's doing it. So why not?
I
He's
feel
on
you from
fucking
that standpoint.
Fortnite commercials and shit.
Yeah,
bro.
So
And he isn't a guy
it.
he's not like Jerry Rice. It's not because he's the most talented guy. It's because he's that guy.
Yeah.
So
Hey, man.
I'm not going to
like,
fault that guy for getting that money, because if I could do what he does, just on the internet, I would do all that shit. And it would be ridiculous because I'm this guy that you're looking at. But
I mean, Matt wanted to be an internet star.
I'm
like
an influencer, Aaron. I'm a fucking
start doing
influencer.
TikToks. Just start doing dance TikToks. You seen this one where they be, I don't know what the dance is, but they be like moving their hands like a fucking mummy or some shit. Like,
the only thing I've seen on TikTok is the shit, like the really fucked up shit that they show on like your mom's house, where it's just some meth head like babbling about aliens or some crazy shit.
How I'd react if a lady sat on my face on accident. I know you didn't mean to do that, and it's all right. I wish you have a great day.
But no, man, like I feel you, because like, especially I didn't even think about that element of it. And like, honestly, if I was a player, I would try to get some verbiage like that in my contract that would say that I can't be penalized for self-promotion, because like that's kind of like a smart move, because like as Juju Smith-Schuster, like the Steelers ain't gonna you could be, oh, don't dance on that team's logo or that logo. It's like, man, I might play for that team one day. You know,
and that's what he's doing now. Like, cause somebody pointed this out, and I think it was on ESPN or something. I saw it on a clip, but the guy's like, he can literally put he can see himself virtually in another team's uniform anyway.
Yeah.
So like, he'll put that up, and not only does that, like, he's like, oh, I look good in a Miami Dolphins uniform or whatever, but like the people that see him do that in the game, it's like this huge, social network boost to his fucking numbers.
Right.
And shit. So it's like, for him, he's that age. He's young as fuck. He's not even 21, or if he is, he's just turning it. And why not? Why not get paid? And if they let you, I don't think an NFL team would let you put verbiage in that you can. He's
older than 21.
Control your social network because if you're out there, like, if you do that and then you just are like, yo, Jews are creating lasers that are killing people, it's like, you can't have that.
I feel you, but at the same time though, like, they'll try to sit there and, like I said, like, they'll try to penalize you, I guess, because they have it, you're playing in their league, so they got rules that you got to agree to and stuff. But to me, it's just like, how are you going to stop me? Because like, think about like TO, like back in the days of the no fun league where you couldn't celebrate, and then it's like, I can't get your popcorn ready shit when I celebrate.
Yeah, that shit was when it got like real to me. And also what I would
think was low key though, dog. That was so menial to me. Like saying get your popcorn ready. Like,
can I be honest?
Marketing genius, dude.
The best celebration ever, and it wasn't even like an insane thing he did. When he scored a touchdown, pulled a fucking Sharpie. He just had a Sharpie on deck and just went bop, 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 bop.
Right.
I mean, that in and of itself, I would be like, give that man all the money he wants.
He could have,
man. So fucking sick.
Just imagine if he was allowed to do that and then like made news and like signed a deal with Sharpie before he did that shit beforehand, bro. Like, dog, he could have been rich forever, dog.
If you want them, if you're paying them that much to have fun anyway, let them have fun. Nobody gave a fuck, unless they're out there doing some like trying to make you like coming and shit. Like, don't.
You know what one I think really did it for everybody though, dude? Like, I think when they really were like, we gotta stop this was and it was the most menial of them all. I think it was Steve Smith, dude. Steve Smith did a row your boat when he
yeah,
and then he did the little row your boat, and I just feel like he got mad love for that. But I feel like just it was haters up in the upper echelon somewhere that was like, we gotta stop this shit, man. Like, this is enough, man. Yeah, because like that one to me was so I loved it, dude. Like, and then Chad Johnson when he did the fucking river dance and all that, like those are great moments, dude. Like, football, they didn't realize what they really had. You know what I'm saying? Like, and now you can't even like.
They kind of loosen it up because Antonio Brown used to do his little cha-cha shit.
They're cool now with it. Like, they stopped it so you don't get penalized no more. They let the whole team celebrate, which is cool. But like to me, they're kind of lame now, though, dude. Because like I feel like people are out of practice. Like they were starting to get great.
It's always like the D, like
that's what I'm saying. Like it was, dude. They were starting to get really good, man. Like it was getting to a point where it was about to be like somebody's gonna come down like Hulk Hogan and Sting and just like score a touchdown,
like,
choke slam the other one, and then
Cowboys coming in.
Right, get some microphone out and be like, I tried to tell the Bengals. They couldn't see me. But what did
Jerry's skydiving in through the hole in the roof.
Right, just pyrotechnics go off like the Buccaneers got the cannons firing and a fucking bunch of pirates start singing and shit. Like, what was that one on the Family Guy with Peter Griffin scores a touchdown for the Patriots and he just starts singing Jabootsy.
Shabuya roll call.
Yeah, that shit was amazing, dog.
Yeah, I don't know, man, but we'll see. It's gonna be an interesting year because they, my team.
Football,
I don't want to anymore. Honestly, I didn't really watch it last year, and that wasn't because my team didn't. I mean, they did good for most of the season, but I just knew what was going to happen. So I called
it. California now, dude. That's why you don't watch football. Californians don't watch football, man. It's too early in the morning.
Bro, we're out here having avocado toast, having a couple pressed juices. We're out here, bro.
I just love that Matt is such a fucking yuppie that he had to fucking think like pressed juices.
Yeah, I was like, what flex could I say? I don't have any money, so I've never done
that was a good flex right there.
Yeah.
Fresh juice, a nice press juice will run you about
$6-7.
$6-7.
Juice at fucking what's Gelson's? That's the big.
I think I picked up a Uber Eats one time for a chick that was doing like a press juice fast at this place out in Santa Monica. So like I had to like pick up the shit and take it to her, but like I saw the receipt, bro. That shit was like $300 for this juice, bro. I was like, yo,
dude, we walked past one of those places that does it. We used to live near this place called Manhattan Beach, which is kind of like a rich beach area, like south of LA. And we never bought it, but it was close to some place that we went in town, and I remember walking past. I was like, man, I'm kind of thirsty. Let me see how much that juice is. And they had like all the prices up, and it was like $20 for a fucking little glass, because they gave you a fucking glass bottle too. So it's like Jesus.
I mean, because they be trying to say like they compress all these vitamins and all that, but to me, it's like, man, just go buy that shit yourself, and you'll get
just pulpy ass grape juice. Like I don't want. I just have fucking seeds in my teeth and shit.
Well, I never got that element of the juicing. Like me, like I would juice and stuff, but I would just drink the nasty juice. Like I don't get like people will be like, oh, you put apples in it to make it sweet and all that, and like I get wanting it to taste good, but like to me, it's like, man, but drinking a bunch of apple juice ain't good for you, dog. Like it ain't nothing but sugar. So like, so I just get, I just do spinach or kale or whatever, you know what I'm saying, and just bite the bullet and just be nasty and bitter.
Shit,
but
bro, I ate nasty shit in my life, but that shit, it just tastes it's too thick and too fucking. It's like eating green mud almost,
Yeah, I like that green fucking earthy fucking just dirt. Basically,
dude, like, I remember one time we went to like this thing out here where it's like just like a convention, but for like foodie shit, where you paid like $20, but you got to see all like you got samples and whatnot.
Yeah.
But this one place, they were giving out samples of wheatgrass, and I was like, as a joke, I was like, yeah, let's go take one, because I've just seen that. If that's like another yuppie thing, like let me get a wheatgrass shot, please.
Yeah.
And I took it, dude. I almost yacked that shit, right? I was like, I don't know what I expected it to taste like, but it tastes like the smell when you mow grass. I was like, oh God. Like,
it's nasty, dog. It's nasty. Because the same thing happened to me. I was somewhere like some health food place or something, and they were like giving them away. And they were like, hey, yeah, you want a wheatgrass?
Yeah, they're giving them away. I was like, why are you giving this shit away? Like, because it's nasty and you can't sell it.
I knew from the rip, like, it was going to be like that, because, like, it was where they were literally cutting it in front of you. So, like, old girl pulled the scissors out and, like, snipped some. And when she snipped it, my nose, I got a whiff of it. I was like, oh, this shit about to be just straight up lawnmower. Like you said, like, this is just straight grass. Like, it is grass. Like, oh, okay, got you.
There's a smell that you get when you mow a lawn. It's just like that's when you have like the mower and you're just
fresh cut grass. Yeah, that's
that exact smell is the taste. I don't know how to like make that sound sane. But
it's nasty, bro. I mean, like honestly, like with me, like I said, I just have always had this weird thing about me where I have liked vegetables. So to me, it just seems like a highly concentrated, like bitter taste of like a Brussels sprout or whatever. So I kind of can vibe with it, but I would never on the regular just be like, oh, I'm gonna do some wheatgrass shots, but I did hear there's benefits, you know what I'm saying? Like it's supposed to be mad vitamins and all that shit. So, do your thing, you know what I mean? Get your nutrients up.
Yeah.
I encourage living a green life, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I do eat chicken wings. So to me, that's the most strangely fucked up over like consumerist shit ever to eat chicken wings, dude. Cause like for a 10-piece chicken wing, that's 5 birds, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like you kill 5 birds out of one meal. Like that's kind of crazy.
I love a wing, dude. I've been wanting some.
Oh, it's
wings.
delicious,
dude. I haven't had that.
Bro, I make
in a while.
I make the best chicken wings you will ever have in your life, dog. Like straight up. Like I'm not even joking. I found this new recipe, bro. I'm fire with
Parmesan garlic at Wingstop's pretty dope.
Oh, Wingstop is trash. Like check this out. Check this out. This is what you do, right? Try this at yourself, and like it'll work too. But you gotta not fry them at all. So you steam them, right? And like you steam them for like 10 minutes. It sounds crazy, but it cooks some of the fat out of them, and then you bake them in the oven, and then they just crisp up like they've been fried. They're literally like crunch as you bite them. And because you didn't put them in all that grease, you get to taste the actual meat versus like all that oil and shit, and they healthier. You know what I mean? So like, hands down, I make the most fire wings on this earth. I put my wings up against anybody want to see me, dog. I'm talking cash money.
I'm about to just come over and just get some wings at Costco, throw down.
Hey, dog, man, you've been talking that shit for a minute. See, people don't know this. Me and Matt have had a long-standing talk about who's the better cook and all that, and we know who it is. You know what I'm saying? Like in actuality, because it's me. You know what I'm saying? But like,
bro, how dare you, dude?
But Matt be thinking that he can cook, you know what I'm saying? Like, I give him credit, man. Like, he does make good meals. He makes delicious food. I ain't trying to hate on him, but I just, my shit be on some like next level slamming shit.
I gotta be
like,
honest, I'm out of practice. You'll probably beat me now because Kendrick cooks all the fucking meals. So
oh, dude, you stop.
But I will kill you. Get a scrambled egg in front of me. You give me some loose eggs. Just I'll scramble you up some Gordon Ramsay style.
This is the problem.
Blow your minds.
This is the problem with Matt. Matt, because of I guess his crazy mindset of what health food is. Matt used to eat the same shit every day. The most disgusting ass shit you ever seen in your life. And I would be like, bruh, there's no way you cook better than me and you eat that every day, dog. Like, that's just facts right there, bro. Like, cause you ain't never seen me on no struggle time eating 6 eggs, 6 fried eggs, and some beans, and some canned beans. I don't know what that shit was, dog. Like, you can tell me
this was the recipe, Aaron. 1 bag of steamed or frozen vegetables, 1 can of white beans, 4 to 6 eggs, give or take. And then maybe I'm some days when we had like chicken at some point, I might even cook a chicken breast.
Nah, that ain't all you put in that shit. What was your seasoning, motherfucker? Mustard?
Yeah, maybe a Dijonnaise, maybe a honey mustard of some kind. It didn't smell great.
Now, just this alone in your mind. Ask any.
But this alone, hey guys, wait. If you saw the abs at this point, though, just pop. I had
that had nothing to do with the meal you were eating. That had to do with the lack of food you were eating, is what that was.
Exactly. Like, but what I shoveled into my face every night allowed me to then go on the next day and not eat anything. You know what I mean?
Ask a survey of 100 people. No. 200, no, 1,000 people. Do they ever have eggs and mustard together? Just those two right there, eggs and mustard. Would you do that? I guarantee you're gonna have a less than 2% average of people.
Here, let me blow your mind right now. Let me blow your fucking cocky ass mind right now. Hey, you ever have a fried egg on a burger? There might be some mustard on that burger with the egg. So to me, that's being united. That's being united via beef and other elements. I'm talking about putting some straight up raw dog ass mustard on some eggs. Cause that's basically what you did. Cause like you was putting beans in it, but like dude, you're not explaining the process. Here's the process, guys. You guys want abs? This is what you do. Work out 8 to 10 hours a day. Go home, pop some frozen vegetables in a pan. Let them cook up. Warm them up with some water. Let that water dissipate. Then add some beans in. You could drain them. You don't have to. Go for it. Do whatever you want. Add your spices in. while that's bubbling up, reducing, on another pan,
Reduce it.
cook some fried eggs. Get those nice and cooked. Get flip them. Do whatever style egg you want. Go for it. I would recommend a nice sunny side up egg. At the end of the cooking process on the beans and veg, just squirt some mustard into that mix, and it might look disgusting, and it might smell even worse.
I was about to say, your house gonna be smelling like raw ass.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
I'll
when
say
you-
that it don't smell good, but this is how you present. You got to make it look good as you can. So you get a nice plate, you slab all the beans and veg on it in a big ass pile. Put that eggs on top. It should be one big disc if you cooked it right.
Oh,
So
God.
you just cover that the bean and veg mixture, and then you just
your
slice
credit-
it like pie and eat it. Guys, I'm
To your
trying
credit,
to help
what that is,
you.
Just take one good look at yourselves in the mirror, because it's a fucking disgrace.
it was like a ghetto ass, shashuka, I think is what it is, where they make like a
shakshuka.
tomato joint that they put poached eggs in, not fried eggs. But
Yeah, well,
even
they cook it. See,
still-
I could have done that, Aaron. I could have blown your mind even more and poached
Uh,
the egg in that, but I didn't want to do that.
ain't no goddamn mustard in no shashuka. And
I ain't no bitch, chef. I don't give a. I ain't no bitch.
also, this is where your ultimate fault is that you admittedly even said that if you hadn't smoked copious amounts of some illicit substances, then,
Allegedly, Aaron.
then you couldn't even eat it. You couldn't even eat your
No,
own.
hell no. Where would you even come up with that otherwise? There's no. If I was a good cook or like an intelligent person, just sober, I would never have come up with that.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, dog. So like,
But
just that
sometimes
alone.
things happen, Aaron, and you see from a different perspective somehow, and then you are able to create these crazy concoctions. And again, from a fitness perspective, it was the protein
Bro.
slurry I had, fucking killing it.
Bro, marijuana is a deadly ass shit. 'Cause, like, that should have had you eating. That should have you eating all types like tuna fish and peanut butter, bro. Like
Oh,
it sounds
wow, I
like
could've done that.
sounds disgusting. It's like, man, I'm gonna just try it out because that's all I got. You know what I'm saying? I need some protein.
But
man.
I've definitely done shit that I wouldn't like. I've gotten like a scoop of peanut butter and then just like, maybe
Oh, God.
had like some fucking like Hershey pieces and like you just had that with some peanut butter instead of having a peanut butter, stuff like that. I'm not mixing like pepperoni and fucking Cool Whip or whatever. No,
I mean,
none of that.
I've never done like put it on the stuff, but I've eaten it so close in succession where it's just like you might as well have just ate it together. You know what I mean? Because like it's like you literally will squirt some frosting in your mouth and then
I've
let me
done
bite
that.
some of this. Let me bite some of this Slim Jim over here and eat like 3 Cheetos, and then I'm gonna fucking take a couple of M&Ms, bust them joints off right quick. Where it's just like, I mean, it's a deadly thing, man. And I could see like if you were in a kitchen with just like everything in the world at your fingertips, like that's like a dream to me, is to be on like Chopped or some shit and just be high as hell and just
Oh,
be in the
yeah.
pantry. You know what I'm saying? And then they'd be like, dude, what are you doing? It's like, oh well, I ain't really worried about winning.
You
this
ain't
drink
supposed
or
to smoke
much
this
of-
shit, man.
Well, I would just tell them when I got on the show, I'd be like, I'm not really so much worried about winning this show as I am just cooking some fly shit. It's like I need like a Martha Stewart show where it's just like me standing in front of
You
the
got
pantry
3
for like
hours to make
20
one
minutes.
plate of food.
It's just 2 stoners standing in front of the pantry for like 30 minutes, smoking a J, getting high as fuck, and then being like, oh damn, we could make some spaghetti and then like put some of this on there and shit. And then just the end
Dude,
of the
Vice
show.
actually had a show like that. I forget what it was called, but it was literally like this. They had a house, right? And then there was like a guy who was was 2 weed experts, but one was like a super nerdy guy, and then the other guy was kind of like, I think maybe like a Middle Eastern dude, but he was just like knowledgeable about weed and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But they would like pick a dish, get a chef who didn't really cook with weed, but just was a supporter of it. And they had like a closet that they would open up to the chef, and they would create a meal with all these weed, like a course by course meal with weed and weed fucking
See, I'm not really-
turkeys and shit.
Yeah, I'm not really down to eat like all that high end like weed food. Like I don't want food with weed in it. I just want.
I
to
don't
eat
want.
good.
I wouldn't want to pay for it, but if I was given the opportunity to do that, I would definitely do that for sure.
I just don't like eating mad edibles, dog. Like that shit ain't fun to anybody. At a certain point, it's just
Yeah.
like, yo, stop this shit, man. You know
I'd
what I'm
rather
saying?
just
Like,
smoke a fatty and then just
Yeah.
eat some good ass
Yeah,
food. That's
right,
my
and just
thing.
eat. Yeah, like let me just eat, man. Like and like that's my thing. Is like I'd rather get like Blaze and then like cook something. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, 'cause, like I'm down to like sit there with somebody that knows how to cook. Like if he was like with Gordon Ramsay and like he was faded with you and like he was like,
Oh, that
we're
would
gonna
be
make
so sick,
yeah,
dude.
you know what I'm saying? Like he just be like, we're gonna make a fillet and then some donuts, mate. Like, what you think about that?
Oh,
I'd be
there was
like,
this one
hell
fucking
yeah.
donkey in this one fucking show I had that
Right.
I just wanted to slap him in the fucking mouth. It's like, God damn, this is cool. I knew it. I knew you hated that guy, Gordon.
All right.
Fuck that
I'd be
guy.
like, man, and like pass some more of that shit over here.
Be like,
I would
Gordon,
be
is
so
it a
happy.
concern that basically everyone that's won Hell's Kitchen has lost the job they won because of a fucking some sort of crime that he committed before they were on the show?
Oh God.
It's like literally that's all that happens on that show. And you look up the winners. We did it recently. It's like no longer employed by them because of some crazy shit.
Well, I mean, that's kind of how the restaurant business is, though, dude. Nobody just goes out like in pure just, oh, I'm gonna put in my 2 weeks and leave and go about my life. It's always got to be some grand. Some people do, but usually it's like a grandiose fashion. Because what
Randy
it is,
never showed up. Fucking
well, that
easy. He got
industry,
shot in the leg.
the industry burns you out, dude. Like no matter who you are, because like I used to watch those head chefs, and like I'm sure those guys had to be getting money, like you know what I'm saying? Because like we was pretty high in restaurant that I used to work at, but like their job was literally just like any like you know he'd be standing there fucking running the kitchen, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes he'd be picking up bags of rice and shit, and I'd be like, God damn, yo, like this shit, like he you know it wasn't often, but I'd just be like, damn, this shit is real, man. Like, and then if one person fall on you, everything falls apart. Like the dishwasher don't show up, so now it's like we don't got no plates. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's 300 people out there, of course, on this day that he quit too. Like it ain't never where it's just like, oh, chill night where we could have got away with it. Nah, it's like, oh damn, like old boy quit on the most busiest of days. Like, what are we gonna do?
Imagine.
But I mean, you know.
I worked in like shitty restaurants and I remember just being like having trouble keeping up when it was busy for that. So I can't imagine having a place like where you
Oh yeah, dude.
You gotta
bro.
all that shit.
My first job, I used to fucking work at Captain D's, and I worked the register, dog. And this Captain D's was like in the hood, bro. So like, I mean, like it wasn't like in the hood, but it was where you know enough hood people knew where it was, and it was only Captain D's around. So, dude, it would be some Fridays, man. You would literally just look up, and it would be a line around the building, and then it would be literally just a wall of people inside from like wrapped around itself, and you would just be sitting there taking orders, and I'd be looking up like. God damn, dog, like this many people don't want to cook. Like me, if I see some shit like that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna go to something like Captain D's and I'll pull up and I'll see, and it's like, God damn, niggas, like 30 cars outside and the whole inside full. I'll be like, man, I ain't getting no Captain D's today. You know what I'm saying? Like, or I'm gonna go to some other one or whatever. It's like, I got options, dog. You know what I'm saying? I can eat some Burger King today, whatever. Cause like, so many other things. But like, that shit used to blow my mind. Like, I'd be sitting there looking like, damn, dog, like this many people want a fish sandwich, dog. Like, this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, so many other places to eat, dog. Like, literally, like across the street, you would see it. It was a Hardee's.
I see that now.
That
like when they opened up shit now outside here, it's as soon as they did that, it's like it could be like really cold out at night, windy as fuck, about to rain, and people are out there eating outside like it's fucking tropical paradise just because it's open. You know,
right?
Just fucking go.
Well, LA was LA's notorious for that shit though, dude. Because like you'll see 30 cars at In-N-Out, and I'd be looking at In-N-Out like, dog, that shit is not that good to be fucking sitting in line like that.
And also the funny thing is though, those people are waiting in cars because they're too lazy to park and go in, where it literally takes 5 minutes to get your food and you're just out, you know?
Oh yeah, dude. I noticed that early on when I went to In-N-Out. I was like, oh, you can just go inside and they'll hand it to you basically.
Yeah,
like,
you just order like a normal human being and just leave. Yeah. It's the same shit.
But I don't know, man. I wasn't feeling In-N-Out. I think that Tommy's is better than In-N-Out's.
I mean, honestly, I wasn't impressed by In-N-Out when I first ate it. I've come around to it. Like, I'll go there before I would go to McDonald's or some shit. But
yeah.
It's not. It is what it is. I mean, it's just a burger, you know. It's not gonna blow your mind, but it's not bad. It could be worse.
I feel like this is.
I never ate Tommy's. The only Tommy's I ever was close to get was that one we lived near in Van Nuys, and I would never go to that fucking.
Oh, dude, yeah, that place was a fucking.
That place was just a homeless. There was just homeless guys jacking off in those outdoors.
Oh, you know what's sad about LA to me, man, is that they've just let like the streets get run down to a point where. You pretty much like are in like a lawless society in certain spots where
you should
like
see it now, bro.
Yeah, dude. Like you could just run up on like a random corner and just be waiting on a bus, and like it's people there that you have to talk to. Like if they say something to you, it's like I'm gonna have to speak to this guy because like if not, now I'm gonna be like seeming like I want to start some shit. You know what I'm saying? So like it just be some dude that just run up to you and be like, hey man, you know what time it is? Or like, let me see your phone right quick or some shit like that or whatever. This is like I feel like I don't got no phone, man. Or like just any question. I'm like, no, I don't know that. Like, no. Or like it. Dude, like,
but that ain't happening out here. If somebody comes up to us now, it's like, I haven't had that. That hasn't happened, but we have to avoid. Like, we basically live close enough to a grocery store that we can just walk to it. We don't take our car and shit. So it's probably less than a half a mile. But in those blocks, every time we cross paths with like 3 or 4 people who are just straight up lunatics on the street. I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
What's even crazier is like yesterday we went out. And we're walking, we see a lunatic, so we go to a different street, and then there's another lunatic who looks more dangerous. So we turn around, go back, turn around, and this woman, there's like 2 people. Whatever the lunatic we saw was gone. So we start walking again, and this woman, dude, eats it. She's just walking, and she just falls forward. Some big fat lady. And she's with somebody else, and as we're going like towards them, the other lady who is with this woman that fell just is yelling, and she's like, "I told you not to get intoxicated. I'm calling the motherfucking paramedic," going off on this bitch. I was just like, dude, you can't go nowhere in this town without seeing some crazy shit now. Anywhere, I mean, anywhere now.
That's what LA just wore me down.
Remember the 3rd Street Promenade in Santa Monica? You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Fancy stores, rich shit. Yeah. That whole place is tense. Because all those businesses are closed down, tents and homeless people and shit. They can't get them out.
They created a perfect storm, dog, where it was just like, oh, all this empty space and opportunity. Nobody's gonna be here for days, and like the cops don't like. That's what I mean. Like other cities have like a bigger way where they kind of keep like some of the street activity like centralized, but like you could literally just be like in a nice place and then turn the block and just like it could be one house on that street, but it's like you walk by that one house, you could tell everybody in that house fucking ready about some action, dog, where it's like, okay, I don't want to talk to I don't want to talk to none of them Mexicans, like, or I ain't trying to say none of them black people, like, because it's always that most of the time, or even like I said, to be a lunatic.
I don't know, dude.
Some crazy
now out here are just these crazy like meth head white looking dudes.
Well, that's because you live by the beach, like that's what that is. It's all them beach meth addicts, dude. It's like they slip in the sand and shit, and fucking be catching fish to stay alive and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like living off the land.
Oh my god! I'm telling you, dude, it's crazy when we go to the grocery store, because I think I told you about it, where we were like coming in and there was a squirrely looking white dude that just was like wide-eyed, and he looked like he was running from somebody because he kept looking behind him. And you see a security guard chasing him, and he's like, get out, and the guy gets close to the entrance or to leave, but he's like looking for something, that he's got to steal something. So he grabs like a bag full of dried breadcrumbs, because that was all that was there. And the fucking security guard takes like one of those the hand basket things, and just fucking tries to slam the dude as he's leaving with it. Gets the bag and wrestles the bag away. But I was like, dude, just let this motherfucker get up some breadcrumbs, bro.
Yeah, I mean, like, I would be the worst security guard now. Like, I used to be a security guard, but from what I remember them telling me, you can't do any of that shit. Like, my
this guy he went vigilante and was like, not today, because he's some Russian guy, dude. I just think he's like, you will not disrespect me, you motherfucker.
Yeah, I guess, man, or just bored and want some action. But I mean, me, I would literally sit there and watch the dude run out the door and be like, "Yeah, we got him on camera." Like, I'm gonna call the police. Like, that's what you're really supposed to do.
Breadcrumbs, like that shit's gonna go. It's dried bread, like it's fuck.
Bro, like this is the training for a security guard. If someone runs from you, don't chase them. If you're about to apprehend someone, don't apprehend them. It's like all you can do is get to a safe location and direct people to a safe location and call the authorities. Like those are the only things you're supposed to do, dog. Like anything other than that, you're doing way too much, bro. Like you are literally a paid tattletale. So like all that, like that's why like those ones where I see it's like they want you to have a firearm. Like I'll be looking at them like, for what? It's like I ain't about to shoot nobody with this shit. Like you crazy. Yeah. You're crazy. I'm not like a security guard. Like I am not shooting.
Give me a whistle.
Like I would tell them
bot?
straight up to their face. Like I am not like as a security guard. I would be so terrified to pull my gun because it's already bad enough as a cop to shoot someone. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I work for fucking banks, fucking
Well, you
like
fucking told
money
that story
loans.
of your boy that
Like,
saw that guy get straight
yeah.
up shot. And that's
Yeah,
like,
dog.
I'm not losing my life because somebody wanted a free. Even if it's something big, I'd be like, hey man,
Bro.
if they're supposed
They
to
would be
get
robbing the
caught,
banks.
they're gonna get caught.
They would see Wells Fargo get robbed in the video. They just see the security guard. Me, I'm just unstrapping the gun. But they're like, "Hey
Dude,
man,
have you ever seen
this is
Tommy
fucking wrong."
Boy?
Yeah.
You know, at the end when they have to like get in that building and like they're just walk into the bank and go, "Excuse me," and the cops are bitches, so they just slide their gun away. You know,
Right.
that's what I'd do. I'd be like,
I would do the same shit.
bruh,
Hell yeah.
let me
Like, man,
help
fuck
and get a
this.
percentage of that shit, please.
Right. And they'd be like, "Why did you do that, sir?" I'd be like, "Man, I feel like this money isn't insured, and I didn't want to put any of the other guests in the bank at risk
No,
with
just
my
do what the guy
gunfire."
in Tommy Boy did and be like, after the guy hit me in the head with a hammer several times, I had to give him my gun.
I mean, but I feel like if you just say like you don't want to shoot nobody else, like that's a big enough excuse right there for me where they could never get you. Like you're like, man, I don't want to shoot nobody else. I ain't want to shoot nobody behind them or in front of them or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, what can they say in the defense of that? Like nothing. So you out of there, bro. Like that's to me, a security guard is the greatest job ever because like you look like you're there to do something. You're there for the illusion of security, dog. Like they train you literally to not do shit. Like so it's like I don't know, like maybe in those gunfire ones, like the ones with the firearms, maybe they tell them when they can shoot somebody in certain situations, but like I would sit there and listen to shit and tell them people, I'm not shooting a goddamn person, bro. Like, you're
I wouldn't
crazy.
tell anybody. I'd just be like, I'm not gonna kill anybody. I ain't a cop.
Yeah.
If you want to give
don't
me
even-
this ain't no responsibility to this CVS security job other than to keep everyone alive.
You remember in Trailer Park Boys, Bubbles was like, and like the first season, he's like, yeah, we get in a bunch of gunfights. He's like, I usually just shoot my gun off in the air above their heads. It's like it gets people scared enough that it usually works, and I don't got to worry about killing anybody. But you know, every once in a while, you know, somebody will get nicked. Like that would be me. It just be all accidental shit, unless you was trying to kill me. Like then it's a whole other story. Like they just run in and it's like, you know, I gotta just blast off to save my own life. Maybe I would do it, but there's few situations where I would really even be thinking like that. Like it'll just be like, oh, hey, y'all, everybody, they robbing the place. Everybody get down, be safe, put your head down.
Yeah,
Don't look at their faces.
I would try to help people not get killed, but I'm never gonna talk. I could never pull a gun on somebody.
Yeah, man. I don't think I got
maybe
the
I'm a
heart for that
bitch,
shit.
but it is what it is.
Yeah, I don't think I got the heart for that shit, bro. Because that's some high action shit. And I think action movies be pumping people's minds up to think they can do that shit. But like the aftermath of shooting someone too, I know I couldn't deal with that. Because then it's like, how do you erase that from your mind, dog? Like that shit ain't gonna be pretty.
Because sometimes when you shoot a deer, you gotta watch it die and shit. It's like, fuck, no,
that shit's not pretty, bro.
Dude, I can't even punch somebody because I don't want to feel like I hurt somebody. Does that make sense?
Well, that's what I was actually talking to my mom about because you know, like it was been some stuff going on with members in my family. But I was just saying, like, I'm kind of to the mindset now where I don't really want to be in conflict with anyone anymore or like really trying to like be arguing. And I get like that's maybe not always possible, but I don't know, man. Like I just start looking back on like instances where I got mad at people, and it's like, man, you just look crazy, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like getting mad at like driving or like even like little shit where it's like somebody owe you some money and shit. It's like, man, you know what, bro? Like you really need that money that bad, you can keep that shit, bro. It's like I'm not about to sit there and be angry for the rest of my life over fucking $35. You know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, you got me to, you know what I'm saying? Like, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? I take L's, I take W's. You know what I mean? It's what it is. But just like getting caught up in like endless beefs and shit, like. Or being angry all the time, like I'm just over that shit, bro. So I used to be angry, man, like I really angry, bro, and like I don't even understand why necessarily, but I just realized that shit is a losing mindset. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, anytime I feel like when I've gone off in the past, like really, no matter what the situation was, it's always like if I look back on it objectively, it was probably so I felt better. It was to relieve whatever the anger was related to. It wasn't to actually do anything, or sometimes it was just not even probably merited. You just get caught up in it. I've done that. You blow up at people and shit. You get caught up in arguments and get your feelings hurt or, you know, feel a certain way and shit. I've always tried. I don't like confrontation anyway. It just makes me uncomfortable, which is the case for everybody. But I'll do it now, but I feel like I've gotten to the point where in most cases I can sort of control myself enough to not overreact, because like you said, if you overreact or you get pissed and really go full on and do whatever you're going to do, most of the people that see it outside of you and the other person, even the other person probably thinks you look like a psycho, and it doesn't do anything. So yeah, I've tried to stop that. I don't know, man. It's hard to change them. I've been talking about just like that mental type of shit with Kendra too, about like this week. I have like this switch in my head. It's not really related to anger, but it's like anxiety where, I mean, there is a real reason for it, where I did get sick and, stuff we've talked about before with leukemia, but I'm healthy now and everything's good. But there'll be like these things where I can't help. Sometimes I'll have, like this week, I just had this weird fucking feeling like in my throat and in my chest. It didn't hurt. I could breathe. We went on jogs. I could eat. Nothing was physically wrong with me, but I couldn't get this feeling. It was just like this weird feeling. Well, I should know that maybe I should give it a couple days, but I can't stop myself from like spiraling into panic and worrying about getting sick again. And I get, like, you would probably understand that. Kendra does it away, but it's like, I know it's not. And then I had to go, like it went to the point where I had to go into the hospital to get checked because I was so worried about it. But as soon as I got to the hospital, dude, and I was there, I didn't feel any of that shit. And then they did all the tests and it's like, there's nothing there. And I got home and now like, I feel fucking fine and it's not even there. So it was just like, my mind can do that to me. And to me, it's the kind of the same thing with anger, where there's been times in my life where I went off for something so stupid that it was like a mental trigger that I couldn't shut it off. Like it was just an automatic thing, but I should have known better than that. And it's the same thing with what I'm talking about, where if you know it's a problem and you have a lot of track record of that problem coming up and you getting over it and realizing the same thing over and over again. It's like you. I mean, you don't want to be angry and you're trying to avoid that. It's hard to do that shit, man. I can't do. I'm trying to do that for what I'm talking about, but I don't know. It's a hard thing to do.
Well, I think what we're both talking about is just trying to break patterns. You know what I'm saying? And like I just think even part of that is just realizing that shit ain't like gonna ever be like an endless thing. Like I think it's almost kind of like an addiction, man. Like they'll tell you you're always an alcoholic type thing. So like those people are constantly like every day is like another test. Like I think that's kind of what that is too. Like I think in our minds we think like there's a day where you conquer whatever that thing is and you say like, oh, I never get mad. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I finally figured it out. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't never get anxiety no more and worry about shit because I done conquered all my worries. Like I don't think that day ever comes. Like I think it's just that you know how to deal with it better. And like even us realizing that those are things that go on in our minds is like the first step of being like, okay, I'm aware of this now, and now can I consciously do something about it? You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I've been dealing with that just like even like in my golf swing, dude, like trying to be like, can I visibly see what I'm trying to do? You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing with this. Like, can I see myself handling my anger better and not getting, upset in situations and shit where it's like you said, it's not even that big a deal. Like, what I've been having the mindset of is that there's nothing that's going to benefit me in those moments of getting mad. So like focus on the solution, you know what I'm saying? Like focus on the things that are going to make it, better for yourself now versus trying to like blow up in the moment. You know what I mean? Like, and the same thing with like anxiety kind of where like I kind of get the same way too. Like I get worried about shit, man. Like my shit ain't really like much tied to sickness as it is just like the future in general. And I think that's everybody, you know what I'm saying? It's like, God damn, what am I going to do? You know what I mean? Because like even people that seem like they have it figured out, like you would be surprised how many people, man, like how many endless articles there are online where it's like, I had an $80,000 a year job and I quit because I realized I was unfulfilled and now I travel the world and make my blog, you know what I mean? And like, that's great, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like when you was making 80 grand from the start, you get to sit there and ask yourself these questions like, well, what does this shit mean to me? Where somebody who making like 25,000 is like saying to themselves, how do I make the rent? They ain't worried about what's going on in their head as much. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's just like privileges and shit too play into all those too. But like, I just kind of feel like, you know what I mean? I think that's something, no matter what level of life you're in, you have that worry of just what does the future hold? It's just how small or big is your grandiose mindset of your future thought. You know what I'm saying? Because some people, like I said, are thinking about the future for the world, whereas other people think about the future for the moment. You know what I'm saying? Like a crackhead thinks about the next 5 minutes, whereas, you know, the fucking drug dealer is thinking about the next week, and then, you know, the cops think about 3 months down the road when they gonna catch everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, just all those mindsets though is how you have that winning mentality, because the person with that 5 minute mentality, they getting bought and sold every 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like, they got to make a deal now. They got, like, if you find somebody like that, like, hey bro, I got this radio, man, I'll sell it to you right now. What's up? Like $2. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Eat that rock. Come on.
I mean, like, yeah, like you so thirsty, like any deal is a good deal, you know what I'm saying? And then you got somebody that can sit back and rub their hands together on a minute for you and be like, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you bought a car before. You bought a car with $700 in your pocket. You bought a car with $7,000 in your pocket and felt the difference. You know what I'm saying? Like, just even when you on the lot, what you looking at versus what you could do and all of that, like all those things play into just like life in your brain though. You know what I'm saying? You got to think of like, that's your mind now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have that 5 minute mentality where you on the fucking hook, like, oh, goddamn, dog. Like, I think that's how prostitutes make all their money, bro. Like, if you can catch a dude in that 5 minutes where he's blindly horny, you know what I'm saying? It's like, he'll pay any number, dude. Like, literally, it's like, so you selling pussy? What's up? Like, $3,000.
I got a bus, man.
$3,000. Shit.
I got 2 cigarettes and a jelly and fucking $5. Come on, man.
I'm trying to tell you, bro. Yeah, like, and then like them standards will drop lower and lower, where there's be some toothless woman, like you said, hit you with that $5 deal, and you like, all right, come on, let's do it. So, you know, I mean, shit's real out there, dog. Like, I think that's
are you about to start manholing? Is that what you're telling us now?
Oh,
You're about to get into
man.
that 5 minute mentality.
Hey, man, I feel like that manhole.
5 Minute Meat by Aaron Austin. How to get that dick out and slang it for that 5 minute mentality, bitch.
You need to write a book on this shit, dog. I'm trying to tell you, man. Be out here teaching these motherfuckers, man.
Well,
that's what they say the biggest hustle
dropping
is.
Sign. Yeah, you should. I told Steve that too. I was like, we need to just like because he can develop these one-line philosophies like you can. And that's all you need. You need like 8 of those, and those are your books. And then you just fill it with nonsense and memes and whatever.
Here's the thing. I think all you need really is intro, a character. So you as the writer is the character. You need a good intro about yourself and the table of contents, and then all the rest of that shit is literally just like shaking up.
You have to have like a good name. It has to be like a name where it's like you got, or like a cat, like a nickname in between.
Venice Chapru.
Some global Douglas, that we can sell in every language, you know.
Douglas William Fredrickson. Like, I don't think that one works out. Yeah, I feel you, dog. Like, I think there's a big. I feel you.
It has to have the like a money, you know, like PJ Mutintero.
De Niro Chaplin. I feel you, dog. I feel you. I'm with you.
Dude, okay. We need to cut this part out so people don't hear this and then get onto the scheme too early.
Yeah, our get rich plans keep on getting out leaked on the internet, and we trying to figure out how. It's like, I know you told everybody. That's why.
Well, but real quick before we end, first also, we never intro this fucking show, dude. Man. Yo, this is episode 46, guys. So welcome to this. We've been talking for like an hour and a half.
I was just gonna let you cut in, man. And
maybe I will. Yeah. Maybe I'll make it more professional. My bad.
Yeah, like come in with a little beat in the background, some smooth jazz, and be like, "This is Matt with the Aint Life Funny podcast." There you go.
Funny. What's up?
And this is Don De Niro, your boy.
PJ Dolla-Check.
Hell yeah. But I'm with you, man. Like, so welcome to episode. What is this?
I think it's 46, dude. 46. That's crazy.
46.
Never did 46 or anything else. We're the YouTube page. You know how many videos our YouTube page has? Like hundreds. of
feel you,
nonsense that we've accumulated that people
Hey,
even
man.
in Saudi Arabia have listened to. So shout
It's
out to
gems in
Saudi
there,
Arabia.
man.
Hope it's all good there. Hope it's chilling.
It's little gems in there, guys, to keep your head above water just enough to get you to the next
Yeah.
episode. I can't promise any in this
Aaron,
episode.
literally, I think we got it. We have like either some sort, we can develop, dude, YouTube wild country type situation with you. We've already went into that a little bit, but we'll talk about it. We'll get into it
Bro,
later.
I
But
told you that already happened, right? Like there are people that have done that online, dog. Like
But,
it's amazing. It's
Aaron,
an amazing thing.
Aaron,
Amazing time.
cults don't have to be a bad thing, bro. We can figure this out. And you,
I mean, I'm with you, dude.
You have to
We've
be the
taught this up.
figurehead, and I'll be like that nerdy guy in Wild
I don't want to
Country
be
that
the
was just
figurehead.
like, and yes, I still believe. I still believe after
Nah,
all these
man.
years.
You got to be the figurehead, bro. You look like Jesus already, bro. Just pull it. Just ride that wave, man. Just go ahead and ride that wave, dog. Like, get the beard a little longer. Like, and plus, like, being white, you can appeal to a larger audience. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I don't know if that's true anymore. I feel like we've white's jumped. The shark has jumped white.
Matt, think about it, bro. Like it's been thousands of years of conditioning to already make people think that God is white. So like,
I feel like if I do the business thing, we're good. But you should do the like cult thing. Because
see, I don't think I need to be anywhere.
How many like mixed like black cult leaders have there been?
But
None.
This is the thing, man. I don't think I need to be anywhere near it because I think I need to be in the shadows, secretly pulling every string to where like I'm like catching government leaders up in our shit. So like I'll secretly be like blackmailing them on the side so we can get that Scientology love where it's like, oh damn, we're a fucking verified religion, and then we could pull the cult thing off. Because that's what you got to do. You got to get the government behind it so you don't get locked up. That's the key, man. Because if you just pull the wild country shit, they're gonna come in there and shoot you. You know what I'm saying? Like they've done it.
Can I tell you why I don't think it's a good idea that we even move forward with this?
We've spoken too much already about it all the way.
Yeah, I feel like maybe the move would be to not discuss it on something we're gonna publish widely.
Shut up, bitch.
And so I guess we fucked that up. We'll learn from this. This is another learning.
We're putting the blueprint out there for the next guys that's smart enough to do this.
Move forward, guys. You figure that out. But what I wanted to bring up to you before we end this, because I just think it's funny that everyone's like surprised by this. This shit with the royal family in England and Meghan Markle and all these why is this news? And why is anyone surprised that these lizard people are race? Look at a picture of a royal now. They look insane. They look like lizard people. So are you surprised by this?
Just think about this. Just think about the craziness of what the royal bloodline really means. They think that they can trace their bloodline back to Jesus Christ. So just in saying that alone, just shut the fuck up. Like, can we just get on board with that concept as a team? Like, you know that, right? They think they can trace their bloodline back to Jesus Christ. So just that alone,
why they were royals. I mean, I guess that makes sense.
That's how all of the royal families in all of the countries exist. They all claim that they have a bloodline relating back to Jesus Christ.
What?
So yes, German, French, all of them. Like they look it up. Like maybe I just heard.
Are you saying like aristocrats, or like when you say royalty, like what do you mean?
Any person that was like a king, like even like Napoleon was saying that he had blood relation to Christ.
Okay.
Like all of them. Like that's what I'm saying. Like all of the royalty of every country claims that they have some lineage linking them to the bloodline of Christ. So just that alone, in saying that, shut the fuck up. Because come on, man. Like, what are we talking about here?
National treasure?
What I'm saying, what they're trying to say is that you are literally walking gods amongst earth. So, like, is that not a fucking narcissist ass, crazy Christ complex mentality, anyways? And like, your royalty, like, what the fuck does that even mean? You know what I'm saying?
If they are gods amongst men, being a god is visually you look fucked up.
But I'm just saying, like, the fact that people acknowledge that bullshit, like that's why they can go out there and say that other crazy shit about race, because then it's like, oh, we don't like all that other shit about the dark baby and all that shit. It's like, you're surprised they would say that when they think that they literally are related to God. Come on, man. Like, come on, man.
Plus,
Like, get out of
just
here,
the lineage that we're talking about historically, these people were not good people. Even if you go back, don't go back to Jesus, go back a few
Oh, yeah.
generations. It's like all these motherfuckers have just been scumbags.
Right. Yeah. I mean, like, and you know what's really sucky about people like that is like you hear them say some ignorant ass shit like that, and then it's like everybody wants to jump on that wagon. It's like, bro, think about this. These people are rich enough that they could have literally stopped impoverished countries and shit, like impoverished countries, and been like, oh man, we're gonna go in there and help them out. What do they do instead? Exploit those people. Like literally, like the royalties of like Britain, France, and shit went to Africa and was like, damn man, we could like show these people how to burn coal and give them steam engines and shit. Instead, what do they do? They turn them into slaves and fucking, you know, let's go make them harvest a bunch of crops in another country and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, we go sit
Plus,
there and be
like this shit, like this story specifically, it's like, yeah, they're scumbags. And then even if you take like the Prince and Meghan Markle that left and came to America and like got excommunicated, whatever the shit's called, that
Yeah.
they're not in the royal family, it ain't like they had to move to some like suburban or even like a ghetto or some shit or even some like
Yeah.
middle class suburb. They moved to fucking like some rich ass place in Northern California that
Yeah.
all the billionaires live. It's like they're living that life. It don't
Yeah.
matter if they don't live in the fucking castle or whatever. Who fucking cares? It's fucking
I
creepy
just
anyway, dude.
I find it funny that we live in a society that literally billions of people exist and we get caught up off of like what one or two of us say.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's like an amazing feat to me that like somehow maybe that's like some weird byproduct of the internet or whatever, but like literally like if you it's like imagine just even your high school. In your high school, imagine how many different people were saying shit about anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like literally it would be a kid that would wear all black and you would just see that kid and like somebody whisper over to you that you don't even know and be like, man, that guy looks like a school shooter. And then, you know what I'm saying? Like the next guy, like, and it's just all just some running joke that you kind of pass along, but then like, oh, that gets to the wrong set of ears. And now that kid's in the office, you know what I'm saying? Like getting talked to about somebody, you know what I mean? And it's like, bro, I just fucking like fucking Rob Zombie, you know what I'm saying? Like, or whatever it is, you know what I mean? Like some shit like that. And then now he caught up, you know what I mean? Like that's how shit gets passed around though, dog. And literally like it's on the global scale now where it's like, don't get me wrong, like what they said, yeah, it's fucked up if they said all that shit and like they shouldn't be thinking like that and all this modern shit. But it's like I don't expect that from those people. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, like they
honestly, dude, here's my thing. I don't give a fuck. If they're shitty, and I know I would have told you that from I never met them. I tell you that you want to hang out with people that just live in a castle and think like they don't let it's just some inbred family. Would you want to hang out with that? No,
dude,
I don't like going to fancy restaurants. I'm like that. I don't even like that. So like that type of person, that's the same person we were making fun of in the beginning. That fucking press juice and let's go bodyboard and fucking, you know.
Well, you know what's funny though, dude, about them is people want to get caught up on the race shit, but even if that was if Meghan Markle was white, they would be doing the same shit because she's not royal. You know what I'm saying?
They did that shit to Diana. They didn't want her in that fucking family either because she was something else. I don't know what the fuck she was.
Yeah, however they see they little shit, man. Because like I said, all that plays into that bloodline shit, dude. Where like I said, they legitimately are trying to like.
We can't let you into the family.
They're trying to
can't have you mucking up this lineage anymore. Yeah, but she has to fuck her cousin, okay? We must have her fuck the prince.
Right, like I mean, that is the type of shit they were doing.
Like, what if they meet some hottie? Like, what if fucking this Prince William guy was into like Nicki Minaj type chicks?
They will tell him that you can have sex with them, but you can't marry them. That's what they're going to tell him, dude.
Nicki Minaj will never be royalty.
Oh, I just thought that the greatest part of it all was I saw some, and this kind of got pushed under the internet rug, was somebody put, instead of worrying about them saying the color of the baby, why are we not questioning why Prince Andrew was at Jeffrey Epstein house all them times?
Yeah, and look at that motherfucker. He looks like that shit, dude. I'm telling you right now, watch that. I sent you a movie to watch called Ninth Gate.
I don't know if I ever saw you send that to me.
Well, it's on Hulu. It's this Johnny Depp movie from back in the day, but it's essentially this movie where Johnny Depp plays like a book, he's like sort of a book dealer that he finds these.
I think I might have seen that movie. I might have seen some of that movie.
But this guy hires him who's interested in all these old occult books to find. He has a book that's purportedly written by Satan himself. Okay. There's 3 other copies, and he wants to make sure his copy is the most authentic or whatever. So he sends Johnny Depp on this thing, and Johnny Depp goes through all this thing, but it basically is an occult of rich white people that just worship Satan. You know, classic conspiracy that we've all talked about. We know, and the people in that look like this guy. And the thing that makes me so like, I was thinking about this movie because I was watching it yesterday. It's written by Roman Polanski, who was a famous Hollywood guy, but he had to leave the country because he got caught fucking some young chick. So he left and went to some place and has never been convicted of the crime because he won't get extradited. But
Russell Simmons shit.
He knew some shit. And this is about occult shit in the rich, like the shit that we talk about, that same conspiracy. So it's like, was he plugged into this? Did he write this movie based off some shit he knew? And he just had that because he was some sort of like Epstein guy too. He probably was like a guy who would have been dealing with that shit.
Truth is stranger than fiction, dog. But I feel like
I went into conspiracy. This might take another hour. My bad.
Well, I ain't gonna go too deep in it, but I feel like I don't think that it's too far of a jump to think that if there's some underground sex trade of underage girls and just kids in general, that those people would link up with each other and know how to move amongst them. You know what I'm saying? Because it's kind of like, I feel like if there's like I'm sure there's, you know, like a drug dealer, you know what I'm saying? Like there's a guy that you can go to and he'll sell you weed, but then he also knows a guy that sells coke, or he might sell coke to himself. You know what I'm saying? It depends on the level of drug dealer you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? So it's probably like the same thing with a sex trafficker where it's like, well, I can get you this type of girl, I can get you a kid or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And it's probably like they linked up through different networks, you know what I'm saying? Which is crazy to even have to delve in all that shit to think that the world is this fucked up. But I don't think it's a mystery to anybody that there's underground sex trafficking rings that go on. And because the thing about it is, they literally in our lifetime broke up a website. What was that shit called? Backpage? Yeah, Backpage. Where that shit happened. You know what I'm saying? We're like literally like, they were like, oh, we found out people were being exploited on Backpage. It's like, yeah, no shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, but the thing about it is that there's other websites just like Backpage that do the same thing. So like the shit still goes on. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't like, that's why I think prostitution is a deadly thing, because like in one way it's kind of like, how can you tell a woman what to do with her body? And I get all that, but it's hard to not get exploited as a woman in that industry because you're dealing with people that are larger than you. You know what I'm saying? Like anything can happen, you know what I'm saying? And like you're like kind of doing things all without the guise of like the safety of the law, you know what I mean? So like shit is just dangerous, you know what I'm saying? Like in general. So like, I don't know, man. Like to me, just like I said, just knowing that there's like a whole industry and underground shit, and like I'm sure there's mad money that gets made just with that. Anytime there's money, there's reason to believe there's dirt. You know what I'm saying? Like that just is what it is, bro. That ain't no conspiracy.
And that's like to me, like somebody like a royal family probably has a connection. Like when you see these people, it's like they've been around so long, they know about it at least, and when they get connected to it, it's like, well, some rich royal guy that nobody's going to question him doing anything, kind of makes sense that he's into doing some dirt, whatever it is, like if it's drugs or whatever.
I mean, here's the thing that's kind of crazy, and I've heard people speak on this, like my dad even brought it up when we moved out to the country. He was saying that there's a big thing about depression, that where people that live in like isolated areas, and I guess like a rich royal person or celebrity could kind of deal with this too, where you're kind of always in your glass box, you know what I'm saying? Or like if you live out in a secluded place, like you're just like deal with the people you deal with on a regular. So like everything's kind of mundane and the same. And like people start like craving excitement, you know what I'm saying? Cause like, that's kind of where like this running joke, even of like, remember we saw, what's that thing on Netflix with the dude from, oh my God. Okay, so I'm gonna have to go on a long loop to even get to this, but who's the dude? Who's the dude from Arrested Development?
Bateman?
The blue dude.
Oh, David Cross.
Yeah, so David Cross had that show where he was the British dude, and he was like, "My parents are from."
Oh yeah, where you're selling fucking that soda or whatever, the energy drink.
Yeah, I forgot the name of that show, but on that. Like one of the jokes is that he goes and there's like these high society dudes that like pay women to go into a glass box, and then they get over the glass box and take a dump on the glass box while the woman is inside of it. You know what I'm saying? Like that was like the thing. It's like a whole bunch of rich dudes get together and do some fucked up shit in the privacy of their own home. You know what I'm saying? And then like in LA, you always hear that same tale too of like, oh, you go to a celebrity party house and like they be in there having wild ass sex parties and shit. Like, remember Cat Williams was saying like, he had that joke where it's like, is that Professor Obi and all that shit? Like,
dude.
so like these things exist though. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's crazy sex parties in the Hollywood Hills.
I just interrupt. That show is called The Increasingly Poor Decisions of Todd Margaret.
Yeah, I knew it was a name of some dude in a crazy long shit. I was wanting to call it Lemony Snickets, and I was like, I know that ain't the name of that
Lemony
Snickets. but you feel me though, right? So like, there's no mystery of like a long running thing of like crazy shit
T.I.'s
going
getting
on
caught up for that
door.
shit right now. Him and his wife doing that shit.
Yeah, you feel me? So like, just in that alone,
allegedly.
Now what it is we live in the age of everybody telling, you know what I'm saying? Like, because remember, like, there should be the thing of snitches get stitches. Like, nowadays the snitch is verified thanks to a nigga we talked about, Tekashi 6ix9ine. Motherfucker helped us all see this clearly, is that if you can get attention in any way possible, you can get on. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's really what attention is, money now. You see what I'm saying? Like, so that's what people are verifying this to. So like, even if your attention is, hey, I was a fucking gimp at a sex party at T.I. house and they fucking stuck their thumb up my ass and shit. And like, here's the verification. Here's a video on my phone. Like, blah, blah, blah. Like, what is fucked up is you come off in that story, people want to see that shit. So they be like, oh, damn, thanks. And they take that and they hand you a check and you walk off smiling ear to ear. Like, it's fucked up. But that's the times we are in now, dog. That's what's going on, bro. Like, that's what you gotta realize.
You're at a sex party, like, I'm gonna be so famous someday.
I mean, honestly, that's the Righteous
I'm
Gemstones
gonna be
plot.
famous.
That was the Righteous Gemstones plot, though. His son filmed him doing some dirtbag shit, and you know what I'm saying? And then the snitch, you know what I'm saying, is the one pulling the strings at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Like,
True.
You know what I mean? With their finger on the button. So I mean, it's crazy to think that that's money now, but that's even Epstein's whole tale, dog. That's what he was doing, blackmailing rich motherfuckers, bro. You know what I'm saying? Keeping his finger on the button so that he could pull it at any time. I
just don't get why, like, where he got, like, what was it connected to? It wasn't just him though. Like, what was he doing it for? Who? What?
Bro,
what?
For money.
But it wasn't just like he had a guy give him
money and pussy, dog. This is the thing. He was.
But who was the guy? Who was his boss? You're telling me he was like, you know what? I'm gonna get all these guys. Let me buy an island real quick and stock it with bitches.
I think it was 50-50 illusion and then 50-50 reality. So like, I think at the beginning of it, it was probably like he somehow was lying to these young underage girls through the women he had with him, because like that Giselle chick was helping too, and like other women, you know what I'm saying? He was really getting the women to lure them in, and then he was coming in kind of like some old nasty King Cooper type situation where he just laid up, you like a Jabba the Hutt, and it's like, suck me, woman, like, you know what I'm saying? Like some nasty. That's what he was doing, you know what I'm saying? Like real talk, like he was like nasty like that. So like, if he's already a fucking perv and he's got the mentality of that, so he's a sick perv that now wants to make money. What is he good at? Being a sick fucking perv. I can exploit other sick fucking pervs the same way that I should be getting exploited. So he makes the illusion to this guy, hey dog, I got not only underage fine ass women that you want to mess with, but they're also not going to get you caught up. That's the lie that he's telling you. See what I'm saying? That's the illusion. That's why the rich dudes was fucking with him. It wasn't just the fact that he had the underage chicks, because like, I feel you.
But
like,
you still think it's him doing it though. They're just him.
Yes. I don't think there's no strings above him to the degree of like, maybe there's some network, maybe he was working with other people to like set up the cameras and all of that, and like they linked in a way where they got a company where he's splitting the profits he's making off of the trade he's doing, you know what I'm saying? Because like, them dudes wasn't coming to the island for no money, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, they wasn't just coming out there and not giving him shit, you know what I'm saying? So like, I'm sure he probably was breaking people off in his team of his network, but like, it don't take much to be a criminal organization, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, they can get a RICO case on your ass with you and two people, you know what I'm saying? Like, shit is real. So like, I think it was just to that small degree, and then I'm sure that what it was with the people above him would probably come to him on some exchange type shit and be like, hey, you got any dirt on so and so, you got anything on so and so, we need to move the needle this way. So then they like, he could say, oh, he did come to my island, you know what I'm saying? Like, I do got so and so, and then, you know, that whoever wants to exploit that dude could say, yo, remember when you went to Epstein house, he got the video, blah blah blah. Like, maybe Epstein got to burn that bridge with that one dude, but then he gets the check from the other people that he sold the info.
Yeah, but
to.
why bring in like the underage vibe though? Like why?
Because
I guess like once you do it with just regular, like, do you think it started with him just getting like married men in photos with them fucking with strippers and shit? Or
I'm sure there's escalation to it. Yeah, because like that's one thing they show you on like the crime shows is that every criminal starts at different levels. You know what I'm saying? So like it might be you were a petty thief that moves on to armed robbery. You know what I'm saying? And like winds up killing somebody. You know what I mean? Like it like progresses. So it probably did start out like small like that, and then he realized like, oh, it's a hustle in this. You know what I'm saying? Like it could have been, dude. We don't know what that Giselle woman history is. He could have been pimping that woman out. You know what I'm saying? When she was a little girl or whenever he met her. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe she was just down with it. And then, like I said, putting people on the film and being like, yo, Epstein got my back. He can get this to so-and-so. So you're going to be caught up if we let this video get out. And then Epstein was like, yeah, I don't want to keep making Giselle do it. I like underage chicks. It all works hand in hand. Like I said, I think he just was a perv that saw an opportunity, bro. Now, you saying that there's someone above him? Like, I'm sure there were people that were above him, but I think it was more so those people were people he was exploiting. You know what I'm saying? Where they were like, he got the ultimate kill switch now, and then like he's in a sticky spot, and it's better to kill him than to let him go ahead and push that button. Because like, what if like, dude, jail wears on you. You know what I'm saying? He might not push it right away, and he might be telling them on the phone like, "Oh, I'm cool." You know what I'm saying? But then what happened that one day when you don't feel like doing this shit no more? You know what I'm saying? Because they was, from what I understand, they had him living a cushy ass life up in jail too, because they didn't want him doing exactly that. To just one day say like, I'm tired, I'm not gonna stand tall on this no more. I'm telling on everybody. Yeah. But I think the people got itchy and was like, man, we got to just go ahead and kill this dude because he ain't gonna take however many years he gonna get. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that was the reality of
his fucking life.
Right. But I think, well, I don't know. I think he was gonna fucking squirm out of that shit, bro. They was trying everything in the courts, and that's why I think it was like people above him. But I think he had them in his pocket. I think it was people above him that he was putting like under threat versus like them being with him. Because they had been with him, he would have got off. Like if he was really down and connected like that, he would have never went to jail. I think they would have rushed all that shit under the rug and been like, nah. But I think he started making demands and was like, hey, motherfucker, like get with it. And then they was like, he started talking too wild, and they was like, yo, bro, they all got together and was like, he got you, he got me. Like, look, it's too many of us caught up with this one dude. He got to go. You know what I'm saying? Because like that's what anybody does.
Bottom line.
Yeah. It's like Survivor, dude. Like the person that stares at the most shit survives for a long ass time until everybody in the group puts it together and be like, he lying to you, he lying to you, he lying to me, and then they all be like, man, you know what I'm saying?
Damn.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Call the jail real quick. Get that burly ass Italiano guy in that fucking cell with his ass.
I think that's what happened, dude. Because like that's the other thing too, is like we talking about underground networks of like human trafficking. There are definitely underground networks of people that can get out there and put them things on you, dog. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be beat your ass, shoot you, poison you, whatever.
Yeah,
like that
jail, you talking fucking any, like, there's probably a million guys around that area that would fucking do that anyway. They could put a guy in prison and to do it. You know what I mean? Bro.
They ain't playing, man. They are not playing.
Aaron, we've uncovered you. I think you called it, bro. Like, I thought there might be something above him, but honestly, that makes more sense. It just probably was. He just had so much fucking dirt where even if he seemed, they probably, once he went into jail, were saying, we're going to let him think we're going to let him live and give him a cushy life, but we're just going to have to kill this fucker. Let's get him in jail. Yeah. And after the heat dies down a little bit, let's just fucking.
Well, I think they were trying to, like you said, slow play it and just see how he acted. Because, like, I think if, like I said, if he had been playing it cool, I think they would have let it slide. But I'm pretty sure, because, like, bro, your phone calls get recorded in jail unless you have a cell phone. It ain't hard to get a cell phone in a prison. I know I've seen multiple people online with them as via pretty much communicated with people via online that are, you know what I'm saying, like doing this exact thing. You know what I'm saying? So, like, more than likely he was having undocumented conversations with someone and was probably on the phone like, hey, motherfucker, y'all better make this shit go my way. You know what I'm saying? And started talking too quick, too big, too quick. You know what I'm saying? Because like if Epstein was smart, he would have slow played that shit himself and been like you said, just been like, hey, they got me right now, but y'all look out for me. You know what I'm saying? We make this shit work. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say nothing. Give me like 2-3 years. And they probably came back and was like, no, it's gonna be like 7-8. You know what I'm saying? Because you in deep, homie. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, nah, fuck that. And then that's where I think the miscommunication probably
just Lane, get the file ready, bitch.
Yeah, exactly. Like you said, like he pulled that one trigger where it was like, in his mind, he probably thinking to himself like, y'all ain't gonna kill me because I'm too high profile. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just got in this jail. You know what I'm saying? And like, if I die tomorrow, everybody gonna be asking questions, and everybody was. But to their credit, they smoked him so quick, nobody could say nothing because it was literally like he was in that jail. They moved him to that one jail for like 2 or 3 days, and then he was gone.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It was like
he got
COVID.
Like, well, didn't he get COVID and shit too,
bro? But once again, we brought this up on the podcast. They can make anything look like anything, dog. That motherfucker might not even been dead on that stretcher. You know what I'm saying? Because like, think about this. How many times has a dead body been moved in front of cameras and shown? You know what I'm saying? Because like usually when somebody's dead, they put like the thing over them, you know what I'm saying? And like put them in a bag or whatever, like they keep it concealed. And usually you don't even get that image. You know what I'm saying? Like even during COVID, like they don't show you an actual body, raw body dead. You know what I'm saying? They were showing the body bags and the graves and shit. They showed Epstein raw body on the stretcher being pushed into the ambulance. So to me,
remember that shit.
There's a video of him being, I can't remember. I want to look it up, but I don't really want to look it up because I don't want to see it again. But I feel like somebody might have been acting like they were doing CPR on him a little bit. But even in that, it was half-ass CPR because like you can't do CPR and be pushing someone on a cart at the same time. Like, how does that work? You know what I mean? Like, so
come on, man.
Yeah. But like while you're walking, you're trying to do chest compressions. Like that shit doesn't sync up. You know what I'm saying? So like to me, just in that was theater.
Yeah.
Like remember I told you, bro, when the Capitol riots happened, it's not about what's happening so much as what you're being shown. So like, why did they show us a raw body on a stretcher? You've never seen that. Even in movies, they don't really do that shit that much. Like it's quick. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll let somebody die on a stretcher, but they won't like just have somebody being wheeled dead ass bodies up in the fucking ambulance most of the time. You don't see that because that's not a real thing. You know what I'm saying? Like an ambulance don't come for a dead body. The morgue comes. You know what I'm saying? Like that to me, all that is theater, dog. Like I don't want to say he's still alive because then you start sounding like you crazy and shit. Because then people are gonna be like, he's dead, blah blah blah. There's the records and all this. Like you ain't see his body for real. You saw the video of his body getting pushed out. You know what I'm saying?
You don't know what was in that pipe.
You don't know what's in that pipe. Exactly. Marion Barry brought up a great point, dog.
No one ever confirmed what was in that pipe.
As funny as that is, and like the ultimate political shit, that's the exact world we live in right now, dog. And like, if you're not thinking like that, you losing. That's what you got to realize. If you're not understanding that perception is reality, and also they can manipulate video and documents and photo and all of that shit. If you don't realize we live in that spy era, you losing, dog. Because like just accepting what they show you, we dissected the Capitol riot, dude, for 2 days on this bitch. And I pointed out things that made you scratch your head and be like, that shit make you wonder. So if you can do that with that, you can't do that with Epstein shit and sit there and everybody scratch their head being like, that shit make you wonder. It's like, why did they show you that? Not why are they doing it? Why did they show you what they showed you? That's the question you got to be asking.
Well, everyone listening, that new book, Perception is Reality by PJ Dolla-Check.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Hey, man.
Dude,
I be
dropping
crazy
science today, dude. I couldn't even say shit. I got hypnotized by it, dude.
Sorry,
I think
man.
you are a cult leader, bro.
Speak your knowledge, man. Tell me what you think.
I know. I got nothing. I'm bought into everything you fucking said. I'm in.
This motherfucker might be right.
I think you figured it out. So, FBI, you're welcome. If you're even looking into it, you're not.
No, they just watching us. It's like, oh, we got him now. He's figured it out. Yeah. He's on to it.
He knows too much. All of a sudden, all the lights are just gonna turn out in your room real quick. I'll be like, Aaron, where are you, bro?
This is what I don't like about the podcast. I get painted as being some wild conspiracy theorist,
You're
but
not
then
wild,
when
dude.
I be dropping, I said
PJ Dolla-Check. I'm trying to buy into the fucking system. Give me the fucking book.
Right, hey man, I'm
Create
working on it, man.
that shit.
I'm working on it, man. Let's do it.
All right. Well, I'm gonna end it on this gold. So we're gonna call episode 46. It's been a burner. I enjoyed it thoroughly, and now I'm the first member of the cult. So everybody else, jump on the bandwagon, son.
Oh God. Well, I've had a great time as always. I've had a great time as always.
We'll talk to you guys next week. Peace.
Yeah.